Hey, what's good, champions? Arian, Tyson here. I know it's been a minute since I've talked to you on a video, but I'm just letting you know that all is well. Just decided to, take a break to just kind of replenish myself, to get back refocused, recentered, and so on and so forth. And so I wanted to share with you today, simply put, what defines you will drive you. What drives you will define you. Let's say it like that. What drives you will define you. And I'm going to tell you what I mean by that. All of us are driven by something. Otherwise, we would just be living a mediocre existence. If you are watching this video, you are someone who is driven by something. Now, for many of you, I don't know you personally. Some I do know personally. But ask yourself this: what drives you? Is it living to please others? Is it living to please the Most High? Does your purpose drive you? Whatever the case may be, what drives you will ultimately define you. Don't let people, don't let your past, don't let the mistakes that you've made up to this point define you any longer. Nobody is perfect. We all have said things that, looking back on it, sounded foolish. We all have made choices, looking back on it, we might have wanted to reconsider now. But the thing about this, no matter what people say, you ultimately determine your destiny. It starts with you. It doesn't start with your mama, it doesn't start with your daddy, it doesn't start with your brothers or sisters. It doesn't start with your wife or your husband if you're married, your boyfriend or girlfriend if you're not married. It doesn't start with your children. It starts with you. It starts with you. And so, no matter what, don't give your power away to someone else and let them define who you are and how great you are. And I'm telling you that from personal experience, because that's something that happened to me for a long time. And you know what the bad part about it was? Not the fact that it happened to me, but it happened and I didn't even realize it. I didn't realize it. And so, ask yourself, how do you want to be defined? What will you do now going forward to make sure that what drives you ultimately will define you? It's great to be driven by your purpose. But what I'm realizing is some people don't even have a purpose, or they don't even know what their purpose is. And that's when you got to get around some other people. That's when you got to really take a long look at yourself and find out what inspires you, what motivates you, and then how you can pay it forward. That's what it's about. Because there are going to be people that come behind you. And you must be willing to make your life count for something. Otherwise, you're just wasting space and you're wasting time. Time is our most precious commodity. If you ask anybody who's well off, and they're on their deathbed, ask them, what do they want? If they could get anything else, what would they want? They wouldn't say more money. They would say more time. Time is our most precious commodity. The question is, how are you using your time? Time is out for saying, oh, woe is me. Time is out for continuing to dwell on your past that you cannot change. But I'm a firm believer that it is important to learn from the mistakes that you've made. It's important to know your history so that history will not repeat itself. If history repeats itself and you know that it does, that falls on you. But you got to be willing to have the courage of your convictions and be willing to let what drives you define you. So I wanted to share that with you. Again, I know it's been a long time, but I'm still here, I'm still standing. Just had to deal with some things. We all go through it. But I wanted to come back to you and just drop a few nuggets for you. If you got value from this video, feel free to share this video. Remember, in life, you have two choices. You can make moves or you can make excuses, but you most certainly cannot do both. It's yours truly, Arian Tyson, the Moving Motivator, and I will talk to you on the next one. Peace.